It had been 2 long and agonizing months since Taehyung had run away. The entire Kim household was in disarray. With Ryan and Jungkook caught in the midst of chaos. Ryan sat on the edge of the bed, staring blankly at the wall. Her heart ached with the absence of Taehyung. No matter what, in the end, she loved him. She missed their late night chats. Their shared secrets and their laughter that echoed through the halls. But now all she had left were memories tainted by betrayal. Jungkook stood by the window, his hands clenched into fists. He couldn't shake the guilt that gnawed at him. If only he had noticed the signs earlier, maybe he could have stopped Taehyung from running away. He felt responsible for the pain his family was going through. One evening, as Ryan and Jungkook sat in silence in the living room, a knock on the door startled them. Ryan's mother rushed in. Her face pale with shock as she read the letter left on the doorstep. It was from Taehyung and Jia announcing their decision to elope and start a new life together. Ryan's heart sank as she read the words written by her sister. Tears welled up in her eyes, and she felt a wave of betrayal wash over her. Jungkook stood beside her, his jaw clenched in anger. The couple shared a moment of silence understanding before their parents broke down in tears. In the days that followed, Ryan and Jungkook found solace in each other's company. They took long walks in the garden, sharing stories and memories of their childhood. Jungkook would make Ryan laugh with his silly jokes, and she would listen to his dreams and fears with an open heart. Amidst of this, failed attempts were made to find Taehyung and Jia. As they spent more time together, Ryan and Jungkook began to grow closer. They discovered their shared interests and passions, finding comfort in each other's presence. Their arranged marriage seemed less like a burden and more like a chance to heal each other's wound. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Jungkook hesitantly reached for Ryan's hand. She looked up at him, her eyes filled with uncertainty. But Jungkook's gaze was gentle and reassuring. Silently asking for permission to take their relationship to the next level. Van felt a flutter of hope in her chest as she intertwined her fingers with Jungkook's. It was a small gesture, but it spoke volumes about their growing bond. They sat in silence, watching the sky turn from pink to orange to deep purple, content in each other's presence. As days turned into weeks, Ryan and Jungkook navigated the complexities of their arranged marriage with patience and understanding. They learned to communicate openly and honestly, building a foundation of trust and respect. One day, as they were sorting through old family albums, they stumbled upon a photo of Taehyung and Jia from happier times. Ryan felt a pang of sadness at the sight of her sister's smiling face. But Jungkook squeezed her hand in silent support. We'll get through this together, he whispered, his voice filled with determination. Ryan looked up at him, her eyes shining with gratitude. In that moment, she knew that they were stronger together than they ever could be apart. And so, as the day passed and life slowly returned to normalcy for the Kim family, Ryan and Jungkook found solace in each other's love, they faced challenges of their past head on, knowing that they together could overcome anything that came in their way. Just like that, 7 years went by in a blur. Ryan hurriedly chased after her energetic son. Yeonjun, who was giggling and running around the kitchen table. Yeonjun, sweetheart, it's time to eat your dinner, she called out, trying to keep up with his quick movements. Yeonjun squealed with laughter, his chubby cheeks flushed with excitement. He darted towards the living room. But Ryan managed to catch him just in time and scooped him up in her arms. Gotcha, she exclaimed, planting a kiss on his cheek. Meanwhile, Jungkook stood by the kitchen counter, a fond smile on his face as he watched the playful scene unfold. As Ryan settled Yeonjun into his high chair and went to the kitchen to finish preparing dinner. Jungkook approached her from behind and wrapped his arms around her. She leaned back into his embrace, feeling his warmth seep into her skin. He whispered softly, pressing a gentle kiss to her temple. Ryan turned around in his arms, her eyes meeting with his with a mixture of love and gratitude. She replied, reaching up to cup his cheek. They stood there for a moment, lost in each other's gaze, before the sound of Yeonjun's laughter broke the spell. Together, Ryan and Jungkook prepared dinner for their little family. Chatting and laughing as they worked side by side in the kitchen. Jungkook playfully stole a piece of carrot from the cutting board, earning a mock scolding from Ryan. As they sat at the table and called everyone over to eat, Ryan couldn't help but feel a sense of contentment wash over her. Despite the challenges they had faced in the past, she was grateful for the love and happiness that now filled their home. During dinner, Yeonjun made a mess with his food, smearing sauce all over his face and giggling gleefully. Ryan and Jungkook shared amused glances, exchanging knowing smiles as they cleaned up after their son. After dinner, Ryan carried Yeonjun to the living room for some playtime before bedtime. Jungkook joined them, sitting on the floor and building blocks with his son. Ryan watched them interact with a soft smile, feeling her heart swell with love for her family. As the evening drew to a close, Ryan tucked Yeonjun into bed and kissed him good night. She returned to the living room to find Jungkook cleaning up the kitchen. His sleeves rolled up and a look of concentration on his face. The maids were not on duty today, so they decided to do the work themselves. Ryan walked up to him and wrapped her arms around him, resting her head against his back. Jungkook turned around to face her, a soft smile playing on his lips. Thank you for always being there for us, she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. Jungkook cupped her face in his hands, his eyes filled with love and devotion. I will always be here for you, Ryan. The kitchen was filled with warmth and love as Ryan and Jungkook shared a romantic moment. Their hearts intertwined in a bond that had withstood the test of time. As they embraced each other, they knew that together they could overcome any challenge that came in their way. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that we are going to a little trip to Japan? Van pulled away from him, surprised. Really? She asked with excitement in her voice. Mm-hmm. I know you have always wanted to visit Japan, so I planned this. Just you, me, and Yonjun. Oh my, thank you, Cookie. You're the best, she said, hugging him again. Anything for my favorite lady. And as they stood in each other's arms, surrounded by the echoes of laughter and love that filled their home, Van felt grateful for the life they had built together, a life filled with hope, healing, and an enduring love that would last a lifetime.